Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, right now, as you're listening to my voice, there is this hidden biological operating system silently dictating everything. Your energy, your mood, even the exact rate that you're aging. We all kind of walk around assuming we're completely in control of our daily choices, right? But beneath the surface, there's this microscopic matrix of genes, hormones, and receptors that's actually running the whole show. So that brings us to the ultimate question we really have to ask ourselves if we want to truly optimize our well-being. What invisible forces are shaping our lives every single day? Today, we're going to use one single, totally everyday molecule as a sort of Trojan horse to reveal the answer. By tracing the journey of your morning cup of coffee as it crosses the blood-brain barrier and floods your nervous system, we're going to unlock some of the absolute deepest secrets of your cellular biology.
Let's dive right into what I call the great caffeine paradox. It affects billions of us. Why is it that the exact same chemical substance makes one person laser-focused, driven, and ready to conquer the world, but leaves another person completely wired, trapped in this intense, jittery anxiety, just staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m.?
Well, the answer actually has absolutely nothing to do with willpower and surprisingly little to do with building up a tolerance. It's actually a genetic lottery. It's this microscopic coin toss playing out deep inside your liver and your brain right at this very moment. But to truly grasp this, we got to look at what's happening to your neurons on a microscopic level.
To understand just how deep this matrix goes, you first have to meet adenosine. You can think of adenosine like biological hourglass. See, evolutionarily, our brains needed a built-in mechanism to force us to stop moving, rest, and repair daily cellular damage. So, literally from the exact moment you wake up, this molecule steadily accumulates in your brain, generating this heavy, completely unavoidable sleep pressure.
And here is the great myth-busting reality that completely changes how we see things. Caffeine doesn't actually give you energy. No way. It acts as a molecular imposter. Its physical shape is so similar to adenosine that it perfectly plugs into those exact neural receptors, basically blocking the fatigue signal. You aren't creating new energy. You're just putting a blindfold on your brain so it can't feel its own exhaustion. You're borrowing energy from tomorrow, and trust me, you will inevitably have to pay it back.
Now, that reality immediately exposes a totally fascinating mystery. If the chemical mechanism is identical for every single human on Earth, if it's literally just blocking adenosine, why in the world do our bodies react so violently differently? Well, that opens a hidden door right into your unique biological architecture, bringing us to the first of two deeply embedded genetic codes running your life.
Enter the CYP1A2 gene. Located right on chromosome 15, this sequence encodes the primary liver enzyme that is responsible for metabolizing about 95% of the caffeine you drink. Think of it as your body's biological clearance engine. It dictates the exact precise speed at which your liver can sweep this external chemical out of your bloodstream and flush it away.
And here is the sheer, staggering coin toss of human genetics. Over half the population, about 54% of us, carry a genetic variation that makes them slow metabolizers. That means more than half of us are holding this stimulant in our bloodstream way longer than we realize. We're quietly, chronically straining our cardiovascular and nervous systems without ever connecting the dots.
Just look at the biological math for a slow metabolizer. It's kind of brutal. That innocent cup of coffee you drank at 8 a.m., by 4 p.m., your body has only managed to clear about half of it. By 8 p.m., significant levels of that stimulant are still surging through your veins, actively preparing to absolutely dismantle your restorative deep sleep come midnight.
But wait, we've only solved the timing part of the mystery. Now we have to open a new, even more perplexing loop. What if you are a fast metabolizer? Your liver clears the molecule in mere hours, but a single espresso still sends your heart racing into a borderline panic attack. What invisible force is dictating that?
That brings us to our second massive genetic revelation, the ADOR2A gene. If your liver is the engine, your brain is the receiver. This specific gene controls the exact physical shape and sensitivity of your adenosine receptors. Essentially, it dictates exactly how violently your nervous system is going to react when caffeine suddenly hijacks those pathways. Depending on a microscopic variation in this one single gene, your brain's response is basically locked in from birth. If you carry the T/T genotype, your nervous system interprets caffeine as a massive threat, triggering anxiety and jitters. Carry the C/C genotype, it acts as a severe sleep saboteur. Your genetics literally dictate whether this chemical rewards you with laser focus, punishes you with panic, or totally robs you of your recovery.
So you're really starting to see this profound interconnected matrix at play here, right? Your liver determines the duration of the threat, but your brain's receptors determine your actual emotional and physical experience of it. It's a highly customized biological event, happening entirely beneath your conscious awareness every single time you take a sip.
But hold on, because the most transformative insight is still coming. Simply knowing your genetics is frankly kind of useless unless you align them with your daily hormonal rhythms. The real question is, how do we stop fighting millions of years of evolutionary DNA and start utilizing the ultimate biological hack to optimize our modern routines?
Okay, so when you open your eyes in the morning, your body initiates the cortisol awakening response. It's this massive, healthy surge of hormones designed by evolution to make you alert and ready for survival. But when you consume a stimulant immediately upon waking, you are pouring absolute gasoline on that natural hormonal fire. You violently drive those cortisol levels way above their baseline.
By stacking a synthetic chemical right on top of your highest natural hormone peak, the consequences just cascade through your entire system. You amplify your baseline anxiety, you prompt your body to store visceral belly fat because of that chronic cortisol elevation, and you absolutely guarantee a crushing afternoon energy crash when that dam finally breaks and all that accumulated adenosine comes flooding back in.
So to actually master this operating system, we need to follow a precise circadian blueprint. First, wake up and immediately seek bright light to set your brain's central clock. Next, hydrate your cells. Then, and this is the game changer, wait 60 to 90 minutes. Let your natural cortisol peak mobilize you and let it safely subside. Only then do you introduce caffeine. Doing this preserves your delicate nervous system and extends your energy deep into the afternoon.
But even if you have a perfectly engineered morning, we still have to uncover what happens in the dark. The way this molecule interacts with your brain at night leads us directly to the absolute most misunderstood truth in all of modern sleep science.
30%. That's the number. Polysomnographic brain scans reveal a genuinely terrifying truth. Caffeine consumed even 6 hours before bed can reduce your deep, restorative delta wave sleep by up to a staggering 30%. Let that sink in.
Here is the paradox that traps millions of us. You might wake up and subjectively feel like you slept just fine, mostly because, well, you were unconscious. But objectively, neurologically, the deep architectural washing cycle of your brain, those delta waves that clear metabolic waste and repair cellular damage, has been silently suppressed. You are functionally aging your brain in your sleep without ever even consciously realizing it.
To protect your cognitive longevity, you absolutely have to implement biological buffers. Try enforcing a strict 8.8-hour pre-bedtime cutoff for caffeine. And if your nervous system is genetically sensitive, you can leverage specific compounds to help wind down. Things like apigenin from chamomile to calm hyperactive GABA pathways, magnesium to support deep vascular relaxation, and getting enough protein and fiber to prevent blood sugar crashes that closely mimic nocturnal panic attacks.
When we zoom out and view all of these biological layers at once, this incredibly profound picture emerges. A severe afternoon crash or a restless night. It isn't just some isolated, annoying event. It's a biological cascade. Chronic sleep disruption drives systemic inflammation. Inflammation drives accelerated cellular aging. And that accelerated aging quietly degrades your long-term cognitive trajectory over decades.
Because ultimately, your health is not just a collection of separate, isolated habits. Your body is one deeply, fundamentally interconnected biological system. Think about it. A single decision about your morning clearance rate cascades into your nighttime brainwaves, which then dictates your daytime hormones, which ultimately determines your entire trajectory of physical and mental aging.
You can now see the invisible matrix. You understand how microscopic genetics and daily habits physically reshape your brain and your body. So, armed with this profound science, what is the very first small decision you're going to change when you wake up tomorrow morning? Because true human flourishing, it starts with that exact next choice.